You're live on the cloud. Now what? The journey is just beginning.
Hello and welcome back. So happy you're joining us today for another edition of our podcast series related to Workday release management. I'm excited to be joined by two of my Workday colleagues, Bryce Beeghley and Kristen Rusnak. Kristen, Bryce, so thanks so much for joining me today. Our topic today, informing and deploying. So we're getting to the end of our release management process. We need to talk to our stakeholders, our end users, about all these exciting new features. And certainly those things can be exciting, but they also introduce more change that has already occurred as part of the implementation and now this ongoing change. So Bryce, maybe you can speak to a little bit, why is change management important and why is it such a critical component of a successful release management strategy?
Yeah, Kyle, definitely. So with each Workday release, you're going to see some combination of changes to and expansions of existing functionality, as well as new functionality. And in order to make the most of your Workday investment, your users will have to become accustomed to that constant change. We know that's not always the case for every organization. You'll find that a truly successful release management strategy is going to be coupled with change management in a number of ways. So I'll just go through those here. The first being, you really want to center your new strategic vision for your people, your process, and technology around constant change. So leadership, internal communications, they really have to demonstrate the value of change and the fact that constant improvement is going to be the new status quo with Workday. Next, you've got to actively engage your stakeholders and change champion networks in the Workday release management process. So well after your initial deployment, keep those folks involved. As an administrator, you're going to need to know that your goals and challenges align with Workday's functionality and welcome those stakeholders to come in and participate in the adoption process. Another key point is to enable end users through effective training materials and communication for newly released Workday features. So don't forget that, that initial training workbook and everything that you've done for your deployment, you've got to keep adding to it, you've got to keep updating it, and making sure that you're proactively eliminating barriers that may cause your end users to, have maybe a lack of confidence in the system. And then lastly on that one, think of this as, a real chance to build on the momentum that you had with your initial implementation. So, from our experience, what we've seen is that the clients who have the most success with release management really view those new releases as upgrades or, short-term wins that boost morale and end user engagement.
I really like how you said that, Bryce, about ending with how it is a positive. It's an opportunity, and it's an exciting opportunity to deliver on asks that have been critical to some of your end users. And so if you're able to frame it like that, change can, of course, be disruptive, but it can also be a real positive to help with long-term growth within your organization. So having that be incorporated as part of the change management and part of the discussion is a really great way to look at the releases as something exciting rather than something that's a take back from other opportunities and other work that's happening at your organization.
I love both of those points, right? I think it's about changing the narrative. The release management can be a positive thing. It can deliver on things that end users have been looking for or excited about or make life a little bit easier. And so certainly the right change management strategy can go a long way to influencing that narrative. Kristen, Bryce, thank you so much for joining me today to talk about this important topic. And I hope everyone will tune in to our next podcast session. Thank you.
Thanks, Kyle.
We hope this session helped you see through the clouds. See you next week.